Okay. Alright, preparing to journey to the abandoned village of Thunder Tree, you gather what provisions you require and all meet outside the Stonehill Inn. The journey starts without a hitch. You don't run into anyone on the road, and you reach the T-junction of Tribor Trail without hassle and decide to make your way directly north towards Neverwinter Wood. You just make the southern part of the wood before the sun starts to set and manage to find the old trail that leads north to Thunder Tree. You manage to find what you think to be a decent campsite just off the trail near a small river. Your party quickly set up camp and decide to light a fire to fight off some of the spring chill. The first watch is taken by Adar, accompanied by his untiring defender Roger. During your watch, you just make out the sound of some creature screeching off in the distance. Where it is coming from, you don't know. Your watch passes without any other incident, the sound of the forest creatures and river drowning out the sound of any serious danger. The next watch is taken by Beardrick, also accompanied by Roger. During your watch, Beardrick, you also make out the screeching noise, followed by an even more distant screech. You recognize it as being an owlbear. However, your watch also passes without much incident. You tell Emma that you heard the sound of owlbear screeching and that she should keep her ears and eyes sharp. Emma, a little distracted by her thoughts, doesn't make out any owlbear sounds and just assumes Beardrick tried to scare her. Deep in thought, Emma does not make out the sound of a group of goblins surrounding the party. The sound of arrows whistling through the air, as well as Roger, Roger, is heard. Emma is struck with a few arrows digging deep into her flesh and causing some serious wounds. A quick and fierce battle ensues where the party rapidly kill a few goblins and chase the rest off. On investigating the dead goblins, it reveals you guys find a finely crafted but broken bow with elven script, a bag with an elven head, and a finely made leaf-shaped brooch. You all gather around the fire, breathing heavily after the violent encounter. Strange, ethereal elephantine arms protruding from Sassoon's back. Emma still bleeding slightly from the arrow wounds in her side, and finally the sounds of the forest slowly returning after the brief disturbance. What are you all doing?
This is now still in the middle of the night, or is this next morning?
This is still right after the battle. Your astral arms are still out. You guys have gathered the things you've looted from the corpses, and yeah.
I think me and Beatrice were busy talking about the brooch and wanted to show them to the other elves.
That's right. That's right, yeah. You guys hear me?
Yeah, you guys must go ahead.
Alright, so soon, yeah, we can take it to the elves and show them and see what information they can bring up from.
You guys can describe what you're doing. Yeah, no, I can hear you. Just describe what you do and what's what everyone's kind of comment and etc. So you guys must take the lead on this. This is a RP moment here.
Right. I suppose from there, if there's nothing else, then we'll walk back towards the group then and yeah, show Emma and Daenerys the brooch and see what they can tell us. Is that okay, so soon? Happy with that?
Where did the elf head come in the bag?
Yeah. They haven't seen the elf head yet, right?
No, everyone. Sassoon had looked at it and Adar had looked at it. It's still in the bag.
Try and see if I recognize the brooch.
Yeah, you can roll a history check for me, please.
11.
You look at it, you can tell it's elven make or made, but you don't necessarily recognize the symbology. It doesn't ring a bell or it doesn't bring up any memories or anything, no. you gather from the shape that, like I said, it's Alban made, and the leaf you might deduce that represents life, the forest, and new things. However, this symbol of whatever it might represent, like I said, doesn't come to you.
Okay.
I would just like to...
Do you know where the brooch is from?
You're asking Emma.
Yes.
All right, Emma, you can roll a history check as well.
20.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. All right.
Nice.
Is that it's not a straight 20, is it? It's just what do you call it?
4.
Not nat.
Natural
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just checking. Just a natural 20 on a skill check doesn't necessarily mean you automatically succeed or anything. It just that's more for that's more for critical hits and stuff like that. But still, a 20 is very high on a history intelligence check. So, looking at this, Daenerys, and from your previous studies where you come from in the vast libraries there, you have come across similar representations, and you might have once or twice met a couple of wood elves wearing a similar brooch, visiting your city and home.
You're talking to Emma, right?
Yeah.
Do I know whether...
Sorry?
You just said Daenerys and not
Oh,
Emma.
sorry. Emma. Sorry.
Do I maybe recognize a deity?
It's not necessarily a deity, more a deity, more than it is a house or almost like an elven tribe of wood elves. It doesn't necessarily represent a family. It just represents somewhat of a tribe of elves that come from. They are known to frequent the Neverwinter woods. But they are mostly found in, I'll tell you now, sorry, I'm just looking for my freaking maps. They are mostly found in, I think it's the moon shade forests. I'll tell you now. Yeah, the Lurkwood, or I think it's also known as the moon shades, which is far north. Oh no, sorry, the Moonwood, not Lurkwood. I was right. Yeah, so the Moonwood, which is Emma, is north of Silvery Moon, but these elves you can find them anywhere from the Moonwood to Lurkwood, and even to the northern stretches of Neverwinter Wood.
May I try to cure the wounds that are still bleeding a bit? My own wounds.
Yeah, you can. You can cast a spell and cast Cure Wounds. So what's happened now is we've had combat, or the combat was over pretty quick. So we can still go into a long rest, and you'll still recover all your hit points at the end of it. You might just need an extra hour. You will just need an extra hour to regain your lost hit points and magic that's been used. Your magic will be regained after the long rest, but the extra hour is just for your hit points. The rest of you will also take a.
No.
Say that again.
No, I just said we try to recap in my mind. We set up camp and got a bit of a nasty surprise. Thanks to Emma. And is there still time for the group to rest?
Yeah, so that's what I'm explaining, is that the battle only you only lose a long rest if you take a full hour to when you being active within a full hour of your long rest. So because the battle was over pretty quick, it happened in a matter of moments. These goblins came, you guys fought them off. You chased them away at it was pretty quick. It happened within probably a minute or two. Sorry.
You can carry on with the original long rest, basically.
Yeah, so you basically continue with the original long rest. We'll just add an extra hour for Emma to regain her lost HP. Although I think she's not. She did cast Cure Wounds already, so she's up to 18.
Should I maybe offer to my companions if any of them need any healing?
Yeah, ask them. You must ask them.
Does anyone else need healing?
No, I'm fine. I can heal myself, especially if we get our magic slots back. I can heal
Dietrich?
myself. I don't think anybody else took damage. To be frank.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Daenerys, you okay?
All good, thanks.
I just instruct Roger to fix himself as well while we, But he doesn't have to do it immediately since he doesn't go to rest. But while if we're gonna rest again or wait a bit before we go forward, I would just like Roger to fix himself, please.
Alright, no, he'll recover after the long rest as well. Alright, so with that all happened within the last hour of Emma, your watch. So the last watch is Sassoon and Daenerys. So Emma, you still have a few minutes, about 45 minutes before your watch ends. So are you all going back to bed, or are you still discussing things, or what's happening?
I would suggest Emma must end her watch.
Yeah.
Then see if it's fine with Daenerys and Sassoon, and they just take Roger to finish the watch till morning, if that is fine with them.
Yeah, Daenerys actually, yeah, that's fine.
It's fine with us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, they still get their long rest then, no?
Yeah, I'd say
they're
that's
awake
fine.
now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be awake for longer than 1 hour.
Well, can I say that Emma feels so guilty about a lack of concentration that she refuses to rest, even though she knows it could be to a detriment.
Yeah, you can. If you want to keep up, and if you want to stay up the entire time, you're welcome to. It's up to you what you'd like to do. So what would you like to do, Emma? You guys, you and Sassoon and Daenerys can discuss how you want to take the next. So there's 45 minutes left of your watch, and then there's still 2 hours left of Sassoon and Daenerys' watch. So a total of 2 hours 45 minutes. Hey?
How will it affect them?
Well, if you decide to take the full 2 hours and 45 minutes, they will just continue the long rest as normal. You though will not regain any HP and you won't none of your spell slots will return. So you wouldn't be considered.
So she only needs a 4-hour rest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. So yeah, you've actually had your long rest already, although she has technically taken damage now. So I mean.
So I guess the 2 hours and 45 minutes left will probably put her back into.
I'd say that it would, yeah. I'd say because I mean it's only, like I said, been a couple of. It's still technically part of the long rest. If you're looking at it in an 8-hour sense, it would still form part of her long rest. If she decided to take, she can spend the 45 minutes and then go to sleep for the 2 hours, and then that will be considered a long rest. But if she decides to go over those 45 minutes, then it's not a long rest. And what's happened has happened. Her HP is where it's at. The spell she's used is where it's at, and she won't take a point of exhaustion though, because she has rested 4 hours.
Could I then ask that if it's not affecting Sassoon and Daenerys negatively, that I complete my 45 minutes
Yeah,
with
no, that's
backup?
fine.
If somebody's maybe willing to sit.
I'll join the elf.
Yeah, finish your watch, and then we'll join you just after that.
Yeah, Beatrick, if you decide to join, you're gonna suffer. It's not gonna count as a long rest to you because you've already taken watch.
Can I
2
then
hours.
let me
That's fine. I haven't taken any damage from the attack in any case, so...
Alright.
Yeah, but you're gonna get exhaustion.
45 minutes.
No, you won't.
Well,
have
the
a
next
long
day.
rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me rather complete my 45 minutes alone.
You'll have Roger at your side. He doesn't sleep.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Well, do I have to be sleeping for a rest, or can I sit up?
You can sit up, but you can't actively be looking around and like perceiving things. You have to kind of be doing relaxed things, leisure things, if I put it that way.
That's fine. I mean, seeing Emma and Roger go off, I just sit by the campfire then, and I'll just get up. Even though
Yeah,
I'm
that's
focusing
fine.
on my own. I'll sit there in case I hear something.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to hear anything because technically you're not concentrating on what's going on around you. You're in a relaxed state, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you can do things like read or I don't know, just things like that. All right. Okay, so Daenerys, everybody goes back to sleep then. I'm assuming you guys are going to leave what's happened to the next morning and continue your long rest. So we'll go along, and Emma, you roll a perception check for me, and Roger as well, please.
Roger has a 7. 7.
All right.
And Emma 10.
20. All right. So you guys, Roger and Emma, you sit up now a lot more alert. Oh no, sorry. Did you roll the 10, Emma?
Yeah,
Alright,
sorry,
yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
No, I thought you said 20. Sorry.
I think. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, still in a little bit of shock, Emma. You trying to stay alert, but you're feeling the tiredness creeping up on you, and your concentration lapse a little bit. Feeling a little bit spent after the short battle, and in a little bit of shock that, and like you say, feeling a little guilty for letting your concentration slip in during your watch. You hear the usual night sounds now returned. Roger, for whatever reason, is just kind of standing about, also tending to himself, slowly but surely healing, not paying too much attention on the surroundings as he's been asked to do. But yeah, your watch goes by, your 45 minutes goes by without any hitch or any problems, and no new attacks or sounds coming. And yeah, it was a successful 45-minute watch for you.
Okay, then I need to go wake up Sassoon and Daenerys.
Alright, so you wake them up. Yeah, anything you want to say to them before they take over?
Yes, I'm so sorry about the attack. I don't know what happened to me, but the rest of my shift, my guard went by without any incident. I didn't hear anything strange. Beatrix did describe to me the owlbear, and I listened for the sounds, but I couldn't hear anything. Roger was attending to himself, maybe
Roger.
keeping an eye on him.
That's okay. The entire point of an ambush is that you don't see it coming.
It's all good. Go and sleep now.
I'll say.
Alright, and Emma, you lay down to finish off your long rest. Daenerys and Sassoon taking watch.
I
yeah.
wanted to ask Daenerys something, but as always on a Tuesday, and only on a Tuesday, people are calling her.
No, shit, okay.
But she'll be back now. I can roll my perception so long.
Yeah, roll. Yeah, it'll be a single roll in any case, actually, because it is dark. You're not going to see much. So it's technically with disadvantage, and because you have Roger there, and you also still have Daenerys there, it's going to be a single roll. Actually, it was supposed to be a single roll for the first one as well, but that's okay. Just remember that now. Anyway.
It was bad enough that it didn't matter.
Exactly. It was destined.
Sorry, for some reason it logged out. So I'm just.
That's okay. Yeah.
Roger has, I think, the best perception, so I think maybe you should.
Yeah. You.
So what's your perception?
My perception's also pretty high, I think.
+4 or less?
I'm guessing equal, but I'll tell you how it's been as
That's
I'm
more. That's +6.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm a monk. I perceive.
Yet you did not perceive the ambush.
Well, he was asleep
In all fairness,
In all
that
fairness.
was my job with a +5 perception.
Ah!
Okay. I'm looking at a black screen. Let me just, because I can see the dice. Maybe let me roll a. Okay, I can. 20,
Oh.
natural 20.
Shit.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you couldn't see your character sheet, so you just rolled a custom.
Yeah. For some reason the character sheet still hasn't rolled, so I couldn't even see the dice. Let me just reload everything.
All right.
There
Well.
was a delay on mine as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably just some internet issues. But yeah. Anyway.
What
Yeah.
did you do to fix yours afterwards?
Well, I think that's where the mix up with the 20 and 10 came in. But yeah, it just came back by itself. With my luck, if I fiddle, everything will disappear. Like this.
Yeah, I'll maybe just give it a moment. But yeah, 20, I guess.
Oh no, that's awesome. That's sweet. Hang on. Wait 2 seconds. Yeah. So you listen. You give a listen out. More than anything else, you can't see much. You hear the regular noises of the forest, but you also make out. It sounds like, to your ears, very, and it's again very distant, and you're not distant, and you again not quite sure of the direction, but a sound of almost like heavy breathing, perhaps snoring, maybe. You're not sure if it's the wind blowing through the trees or if there's some creature sleeping nearby, but you make out it sounds like like deep breathing, almost snoring happening.
More or less like close by, like a kilometer, or like far away.
Yeah, with probably half a kilometer. You make out that if you were to hear this, if you were just to make, but your ears are super sharp. You are technically half cat. You've got extremely sharp hearing, and you pick up the every now and then when the wind blows just right, you pick up this breathing sound, this
Can I walk around a little to hear if I hear it more or less?
Alright, so you're just walking around normally, hey?
Probably trying to be a little stealthy.
So you're gonna stealth it.
Yes.
Alright, so roll it. Roll a stealth check as you make your way around the camp, as you start to walk around, hearing the sound.
It still hasn't loaded, so I'm just going to roll another d20.
Alright.
10, and I think that's +4 maybe. Can't remember.
14.
No, it's 14.
Okay. Alright, so you make your way around, feeling pretty stealthy. It's difficult again to pinpoint the exact direction the sound's coming from. So you move slowly but surely, make your way around. I'm gonna have to have you roll another perception check to see if you can pick up the noise as you make your way around. Stealth, yeah. Slowly make your way around.
13 plus 6, 19.
Nice, yeah. So you make it out. It's coming. It sounds like it's coming from just from south of your position. So you slowly make your way in that direction.
Just Anal is back.
Alright.
So I basically heard the noise, and I'm just walking around camp just around the camp to try and find it. And I think I found it southwards, and I'm walking closer now. What are you doing while I was doing all this?
Keeping an eye on everyone else sleeping, just to make sure they are safe while you search the property.
That's creepy.
Watching everyone as they sleep.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to watch.
You sleep.
You're supposed to watch into the bush and into the tree so you don't get ambushed again. You're watching us. You're.
But then, basically, as I hear the sound, I show Daenerys the hand signals for she is very loud and stay here, and I start walking.
All right.
Hungry.
I don't know if do you know sign language?
All right. So you make your way, following the sound. It's completely dark. You don't see much. You see things as if it's dim light. It's colorless. Again, you make out the sound of the forest. That nothing's necessarily changed, and you follow the breathing. It sounds deep. You can, as you're approaching it, it grows louder and louder. You're heading in a southerly direction. You get to about 250 feet, and it's growing pretty. It's still pretty loud. You pretty sure that you aren't making any noise to notify whatever this thing is to your presence. As you continue to approach, you get to about 350 meters, 400 meters. You're almost 100 meters away from the sound now. With your keen hearing, it sounds like someone snoring in their sleep. You take a step, and as you step forward, you feel a familiar touch on your shin, and the first thought in your mind is, "Oh shit!" You look down, and you see a silver thread as kind of placed across two bushes, and it almost kind of looks like it continues, like with your sight, looks like it continues around a little bit. Strangely enough, no trap seems to have sprung. You stand and wait a few moments, getting ready to dodge out the way of anything that might happen, but nothing happens. I'd like you to roll another perception check for me, please.
+18 +6, 24.
You hear the sound of the snoring stops immediately as you stand there. You hear someone rustling as they stand up. You hear the clattering of what may be a backpack as it's quickly put on or picked up, or you're not sure what's happening, and you hear the muttering of something that you can't quite make out. What are you doing?
I yell just in the general direction. I mean no harm, and then I back way back to our camp.
All right, that's fine. So you make your way back. As you go, you're keeping a listen out, and with that same perception check, you hear nothing now. It's completely silent as you slowly make your way back to camp.
On my way back, I think, aren't we looking for somebody, a druid? So I guess I'm heading back to the camp to just see if it is a druid. How would a druid look? Yeah.
Alright, so you make your way back to camp. You see Daenerys standing there looking over everybody, making sure that they're okay.
I head back to his camp, to the Silver Thread one.
Okay, so you step over the Silver Thread and you rush off in the direction of the sound you hear. You get there. There's nobody around that you can immediately see. You get to the spot where you thought you heard the sound coming from. The sound, firstly, of the deep, or not deep sleep, but the snoring or breathing, and the sound of the clattering and mumbling that you'd heard. And looking down, I'd like you see a like quite tallish grass that's kind of been flattened down. Obviously, somebody had been sleeping there. You can tell it must have been humanoid. If you'd like, you can roll an investigation to see if you find anything lying around.
Yeah, sure. I was just restarting my browser.
All right.
So it's working. Hopefully now I'll be able to actually see my character.
Maybe try the app.
That's also a good idea. Oh wait, I can see everything now. Okay.
Sweet.
Investigation. I'm not as good with investigation.
Or you can roll a perception. All right, a 6. Yeah. You feel you go down. You bend down to feel if you see anything or find anything perhaps left behind. You find a chicken bone. Looks like it's been eaten and gnawed on. Not broken. It looks like there's still bits of meat on it. Looks like whoever was eating this might have been a little picky. You feel around some more. You can basically just feel the soft. Just the area where the grass is kind of flattened. Someone was definitely there.
I yell out once more, are you a druid?
There's no reply.
Okay, then I pretty much give up and walk back to camp.
Alright. And you reach camp, and there's Daenerys standing over the group, just keeping an eye out, making sure everything's okay.
Asked him what happened, why he's been away for so long.
I heard snoring, and then I went to go look. Well, there was a camp, I guess. But the guy must be invisible or something. So there was a bunch of wood elves killed. Did you know them?
Nope.
Okay. Are you sure?
Can I check if I know about this wood elves?
So you go over to the bag and you decide you're gonna have a look. You open it up. the face isn't recognizable. It is a female elf. That much you deduce. But the face doesn't look at all recognizable to you.
Okay.
In your travels, you've only rarely come across wood elves. You yourself mainly spent time amongst other elves besides wood elves, which are some of the more, not necessarily rare, but less seen elven groups.
So, what brought you to Fandolin?
I'm in search of adventure and love.
Okay, but what brought you there?
I ran away from her. And I just picked a direction and kept walking.
And do you always just like do that weird lightning thing, or
So I follow a god who gave me this beautiful power, and I like to use it.
Okay, I guess that's as good as explanation as, you know. If we're going to believe in fairy tales, we might as well. Okay, I guess I guess we finish our watch and then with the others.
Yeah, so your watch comes to an end and you go to wake the rest of the group. You can all mark off a long rest. The sun starts to rise. It's still pretty early. I mean, you guys didn't go to bed late. It's around, let me check here. Yeah, it's around 5 o'clock in the morning as you wake everyone up. The sun hasn't risen yet. You can see in the horizon it's starting to clear up. It's starting to lighten up. But yeah, it's still pretty early.
With Emma being damaged in the fights during the night, I sort of wake her up last so that she can get an extra half hour or something while we prepare, I guess, breakfast of some kind.
That's fine. You guys lighting a fire to make breakfast? I mean, the fire was probably continuing throughout the night a little bit. Dying down probably around your watch soon. So, are you guys going to light another fire and cook breakfast, or what are you doing?
No, I think we'd eat dry rations. I don't think we start another fire. Depends. It doesn't really matter. I just think we should get going as quick as possible.
I was standing by it all night, so I kept it alive pretty much. I was relaxing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do we know? Are we told anything that happened with the chicken feast and the happening?
And the steering while we are sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, we know where the coming from.
Yeah, I guess I probably tell you guys that there's another camp about like 500 meters from here, and I accidentally scared the guy off before I could see who he is or she is. Loud snorer is pretty much all I can confirm.
That's gonna happen.
Can I ask to see the bag that they found?
Yeah.
Please see the bag that you found.
Well, are you guys keeping the bag, or did you just leave it off?
I would guess the bag is somewhere close by.
Close by the camp. I know we dropped it. The last reaction was to do fall down.
No, well, Daenerys went and also had a look at it to see what was going on. So it's at the edge of the camp. The goblin body is also still lying about. There's still as you wake up in the morning with the fresh air, Well, not it's fresh, but there is a hint of iron in it, in the smell of it, the smell of the blood from the goblins that you'd slain, as well as the starting to turn a little offish head in a bag. Yeah, so you go to have a look, Emma, and you open the bag. You can roll a perception check for me.
Well, first I become violently sick.
Yeah, it is rather gross.
And then after recovering from that, I'd go do my perception. I was so put off, it was useless. 7.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's difficult to look at for a long time. It looks like it's been you're not sure how long it's been dead for. It's starting to smell, that's for sure, and the blood hasn't fully dried yet. It's starting to congeal. It looks like jelly almost, and yeah, it's very gory. It is a female elf, dark hair, dark features, obviously looking very pale. Yeah, but that's probably due to the lack of blood in the head. Yeah, it doesn't look recognizable to you.
Okay, then where to from now? Where do we go now?
Suppose we carry on our route, our path.
Sassoon, can you show us that camp?
Yeah.
Is it in this direction we are walking, or which direction is it?
I don't know. Is it in the direction we're walking?
Are we walking south?
I think we're walking north or west.
North, I think we're walking north.
North is
You guys have maps, eh? So you just need to look at them.
Yeah. That was why I was asking you. Is the camp in the direction we are going or not?
No, it was south of your camp.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I can show it to you guys if you guys are interested.
Yeah, let's go roll a bit of perception there, and then carry it on.
Yeah, and as we get closer, do I still see the silver thread, or has that also been removed?
You go. No, the silver thread is still lying there, or the piece that you kind of stepped through and had broken, and that's tied off to one of the bushes. The other, probably longer, but looks like it's vanished. But there is still a piece of the silver thread.
I pick it up, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably, call it about 4 or 5 meters in length. Still.
Yeah, I give that to Adar.
Does Adar recognize? I imagine it's like a silk, like silver.
Well, roll a. Well, you would know this. Touching it, and after Sassoon hands it to you, it's very supple and not really strong. You figure that it is probably silver, actual silver that's been wound into a thin thread-like substance.
And I recognize it as a tripwire, right?
Well, you're not sure what it might be. You can, if you want to deduce that, roll an Arcana for me, please.
Arcana. Oh yes. Non-net 20.
Nice. So, you've not come across this substance necessarily, but because you have some practice with the arcane arts, although you're not like necessarily proficient in, well, you are proficient in arcane knowledge. You're not necessarily proficient in arcane things or whatever. Well, yeah, you technically are really actually. So, you never just exclude what I've just said there. You recognize it as being part of a alarm spell.
Oh.
So it doesn't necessarily cause any. It's a component for an alarm spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I explained to Sassoon.
Would a druid be able to make an alarm spell?
With that same role, I mean, Adar says, well, it's possible, but probably unlikely. Druids aren't necessarily known. This is more in the field of wizardry, if I can put it that way.
So keep a lookout for a glass staff then.
Okay. Can I do a perception check there by the where you found the Kentucky?
Help him.
Yeah, you can. So Sassoon leads you to where he found this part where the person was probably sleeping. The grass now sprung up in the new morning air. Roll. Are you looking for something, or are you going to physically search for something?
I'm gonna physically search for something. Because he said somebody was resting there, so maybe something else dropped.
All right. Roll a. Sorry, I wasn't paying it. Did you say you're going to physically search? Yeah. So roll a investigation.
System?
Yeah, so Beatrick helps you out. You can roll with advantage.
Oh, a 19 and a 20.
Shit.
Fuck you. Now I use my good rolls.
That's okay. Searching. You and Beatrick make quick work of it, kind of going top to bottom of the area around where this person was sleeping, and there nearby is a thorn bush. Not very big, kind of almost knee high, but attached to it is a torn piece of cloth, quite dark. You hold it in your hand. You both kind of come across it and notice this. You try and match it to some of your garb, and it doesn't match the material that any of you are wearing. And just looking at it, it doesn't really feel like it's made of good quality material. It feels it probably belonged to some sort of a cloak or something. But the fact that it had torn off on such a small thorn bush just indicates the poor quality of the material. But yeah, it's quite a decent size. It's like quite a nice chunk of material against.
I show this to we show it to Sassoon, and I say I think we might have found ourselves a tail, someone that's following us, because this path didn't look well traveled. Either this person is knowing where they are going, or they are following us and staying a safe distance behind. Let's just watch out for anyone passing us on clothes.
Possibly someone who is also looking for the druid, or who we've pissed off.
If his intention was to attack us, I think you had more than enough opportunities.
Not necessarily he want to attack, but he can maybe relay information to somebody that would like to attack us. I butchered that sentence.
Sorry, say that again.
The color of the cloth I found.
It looks like it might have once been black, but it's dulled to a very off black grey color.
So we're being hunted by poor people.
If we're being hunted.
I don't think we're being hunted. We're being hunted by poor goblins. But we are followed by someone.
I've also been attacked by trees and
Thunder.
thunder. So yeah, I probably handle this like we handle everything else and ignore it till it hurts us.
mean, we were also mistaken an old lady. Yeah, and she turned out to be quite evil as well.
Yeah, that's true. I think we should hit. We should continue, but we should just know about this.
Keep an eye open on our surroundings, and especially when we set up camp.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
All right, so you guys have already packed up before you made your way a couple of meters south. So you put everything back onto. Well, yeah, you start heading north again along the edge of the forest again. Where you're walking, it's dense forest to your right, or to the east, and it's still quite a bit of thickets of trees to the west, although you can see through it, and some rolling valleys and stuff to the west as you guys make your way. What's your marching order? You can kind of just put it on roll 20 so we get a sense of who's marching where. The path is technically wide enough so you can go 2-3 abreast if you'd like. It's up to you how you'd like to march.
I think I'll get points, but I'll go a little bit forward.
All right, so you...
Since I can catch up, I'll take the rear.
So we're looking in this I suppose let's look at it as if we're going in this direction.
Okay.
Yeah. I just rotated my stuff.
Sorry.
I'm not going to be able to move my character right now. The action is a bit bad.
All right, I can move it for you. So you're gonna. Oh shit! I just closed roll 20. So you want to be far up ahead, hey Beatrick?
Not too far, but yeah, I mean, decent enough so that if something happens, I have a chance to at least warn everybody else.
Okay, and then who's gonna head the lookout or the perception? Who's heading that, or do you?
Adar and Roger.
All right, so you.
Yeah, if Bedrick's up ahead, probably roll a different perception or.
Yeah, no, well, okay, then I'll say you either roll Adar or Roger, and Bedrick, you roll perception.
Okay.
I didn't catch that. Do I roll or not?
Yeah, you do roll, yeah. So you roll once, and either Adar or Roger rolls.
Alright.
So is this your positioning then, right? Emma, you're going to kind of stay behind there, and Daenerys, you walking next to Emma.
Yes.
Yeah, got a funny feeling.
Sounds good.
All right, so you two are kind of just walking next to one another.
Let's get this.
17 in mine.
14 for Roger.
Does anybody know how you change the icons that appear on roll 20?
What
names?
You should be able to double click on them and change the names.
No, we just want to make them smaller because on my laptop it's like in the middle of my screen.
Oh, those names. Yeah. So you go to settings, and then I think Alex, you know, right? You go to settings, then audio and video, and then video display, and then you say names only. So under settings, audio and video.
Okay,
Then,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Bedrick, you rolled a 17, and Roger.
14.
14. All right. So you guys make your way through this forest. It's quite a beautiful day as the sun starts to rise. There's no clouds up ahead or anything. You hear the sound of birds chirping and small animals going about their business in the underbrush. You make out every now and then something large moving off in the forest, but it sounds quite far away and not necessarily anything to be concerned about. Every now and then a strange call being like emanating from the deep forest as you guys make your way further north into more wild and unpopulated and untamed lands, areas where humans seldom go or have seldom been. As you start making your way, the path gradually starts to almost vanish and almost appearing to split off into multiple animal paths. It becomes slightly difficult to keep track of the right direction if you're following the path. So at this point, we're going to do something where it's going to be a little bit of role playing. You're going to have to, if you want to head in the right direction, you need 4. I'm going to set a DC for, I want each of you to describe what you're going to do to find the right direction. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, and you kind of just role play how or say what you're going to do to try and find the right direction. And then I'm going to ask you to roll a specific skill, and then if you pass or not will determine if you head in the right direction or how long it takes for you to move forward, if that makes sense, and what you might encounter.
Well, Emma would like to a survival check.
All right, so for example, Emma, you're going to roll survival, so you might say you step ahead of Beardrick, him kind of saying that he can't quite see the path, so you step ahead of him, and you look around to see if you can find the right path, like kind of looking to see where is the old tracks that wagons and people must have left traveling north and south from Thundertree to Fandolin perhaps. So I'd like you to roll, or even old tracks from people like Radoth who might have walked this path. So yeah, roll a survival check for me as you move forward to look for the direction you want to head in towards.
While she's rolling, what is the area in? Is it very, very woody, or can we see mountains close by? Or
there's rolling hills. It's a bit difficult to see far ahead because there are trees practically all around you, except to the east. It seems to clear up a little bit, but there are still trees dotted here and there with rolling valleys. It's difficult to make out what's happening exactly to the east. To the west, sorry. The east is very thick forest. There you can't see anything, and up ahead you don't necessarily you can see the rise of the road and the fall a little bit to a distance, not necessarily the road but of the direction, but yeah, it looks like wild country basically. It is pretty woody where you are standing at the moment. Yeah.
So Emma rolled 15.
15. All right. Yeah, that just makes the difficulty class. So you looking along on the ground, you manage to find old wagon tracks that might have been that have rutted into the road, causing kind of almost creating a permanent line going through for a couple of meters, and you deduce that okay, the path must be continuing in this direction, and you follow it along, feeling pretty confident you're heading in the right direction. You follow this. All right, so the time at this point.
Only one something.
I just wanted to say, I resent that Bedrick wouldn't know where to go. That's what I'm called for. I would have said that, I know where the sun rises and sets, from east to west, and I would have known the direction to go to. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I'd say I'd also have with that I'd just have you roll. All right. So it's when this happens, Bedrick, it's around 8 o'clock when you kind of start losing the path, and you travel for another 2 hours. It's hitting around obviously 11 o'clock now.
Was the moon out?
So sorry, 9 o'clock. Yeah, and then Emma finds the tracks, and you again. It starts to become unclear. It kind of zigzags between the trees, and your party's starting to become turned around a little bit. So Bedrick, you decide to just look at the sun and try to determine the right direction, which is you think probably just straight north. So I would like you to roll a. Let's see. I'd say make a perception check.
Oh, appreciate.
Appreciate. So either prove or disprove everything that's been said. Oh wow, I've got no idea what I'm looking at. 5.
Yeah, Beatrick, you guys have been turned around a little bit, and even though the sun at this point is almost directly up above you, it is 11 o'clock, so it's a little difficult to tell exactly what direction the sun's moving in and in exactly which way is north, but you kind of take a guess and say, guys, follow me. The sun seems to be going in this direction. I feel like it's this way. So you guys start heading off in the direction that you think Beatrick knows is north.
Okay, but now Emma did her thing as well. Is this now in the same direction as hers, or is this the opposite?
Well, remember, Emma's thing, that path that she was kind of following is zigzagging through the trees. It's not a straight path. It kind of twists and turns as you go, going through ravines and up hills and down and turning around large obstacles, and so it's not necessarily a straight path.
Okay.
So you spend hang on. You spend the next 2 hours making your way. As you thinking you're heading in the right direction, as you heading in whatever direction you might be thinking you're going in, you come to the forest starts to actually roll. Whoever's heading it, make a perception check for me, please.
And I
Insist you.
do a cantrip and help with guidance.
Yeah, you can cast guidance. So you cast guidance on Beatrick before he decides to look. So hang on, guidance.
I rolled by mistake as you guys were busy. I just.
No, that's okay. Guidance. I think you just add a D4 to your roll.
Okay.
So you touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a D4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. They can roll the die before or after making the ability check. So you've rolled once, and now you can roll a D4 and then add that to your total.
The first one's a 9. I'm now rolling a 4, so it's going to be 13 in total.
Nice. All right. So that up.
Sorry, Toto. Is
Yeah?
that a spell or a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's guidance. So she basically goes and mutters a few words as she touches Beatrick on the shoulder, giving him guidance as he looks around. So making your way, you notice that the forest is starting to, the aspects of it are starting to change a bit. The trees feel like they're becoming slightly skinnier, yet more looming, like almost like skeletons standing over you. And there's a mist that's, you didn't notice it at first, but all of a sudden, as you're walking, if you're in the middle of this mist, you can still see somewhat ahead of you, say a good 50 meters, although there are still a lot of trees around. It's difficult to see very far, but this mist is starting to, it feels like it's getting denser. And with that, hey?
Sorry, you finish?
Yeah, and I was going to say, with that same roll, there's also like the mist has got a very off scent to it. It's got a, it doesn't smell quite right. It's got a odor of decay, almost like rotting leaves. It's almost like a wintry forest type smell, or autumn forest. But it's also got a humidity about it.
Right. Okay, obviously Emma's pretty close to me. I mean, if she put that cantrip on me. So I'll then just sort of stop in my tracks, and then Emma, I'll just say like, okay, I don't like the look of this. What do you think?
Are the rest of us just following them?
Yeah, so they've kind of come to a stop now, and you catch up. All kind of, it's up to you if you want to keep moving or if you want to mill about.
I want to stop Bedrick first now, because I don't have a good feeling about this.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to summon my parrot. Just fly him up and
Yeah.
you know, normally I wouldn't second guess Bedrick.
I don't know, but I stopped as well. I wasn't happy about this either. So
yeah, and just to fly around a bit and see if I can see significant landmarks.
Alright, so you matter the arcane activation word and you summon your spectral parrot. It sits there on your shoulder when you summon it. Hello.
Yuri. This is scary.
Yeah, it's kind of echoing almost what's happening in Adol's mind.
Yeah, I think it can say 6 words or something. I'm just looking at my notes.
It senses, it can sense your moods because it's attached to you. It is like almost a part of you. It can say 20 words, but it will say up to 6 words of what you are thinking every 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. This is eerie.
Just wanna
Just before I said, I just told the guy, just keep. I can't really fight when I do this, so just keep an extra lookout. Then I sent all Polly to altitude just above the skeletries.
Alright, so this is going to kind of count as your next search for the right direction. Alright, so you send him up. He circles about. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay. What is his? I just want to check his.
So you should have the Raven status. It should be under extras.
10 feet, fly 50 feet. Okay, that's what I want to know. What is the range of radio control I have with
600 meters?
600 meters. That's quite. That's quite. And at what point does he get fatigue?
He doesn't get fatigued. I mean, it's a parrot, and he's spectral, so he can fly for as long as you'd like him to.
Okay, do I active perception or passive perception?
This is going to be an active look, so you're actively looking through his senses, trying to perceive the world around the parrot. But you're still using its perception. So you're going to be rolling with its, I think, wisdom or its perception.
It has a perception +3, so it's 18 +3.
Well done.
Nice, yeah. So that definitely beats the difficulty, the DC. All right. So it flies around. The mist is a little bit hard to see through. When it's up above you, you kind of look through its eyes. All the senses around you disappearing. All your senses except touch. And hang on. What's going on here? So all right. Yeah. So it flies above the mist eventually, and through its eyes, all around you, it's a bit difficult to see the exact direction you kind of need to go in, because there's just mist, and then off in the distance, forest in one way, and the other way just rolling hills with trees sparsely dispersed. But it looks like you've slowly, surely made your way kind of deeper into the forest, heading almost northeast into the forest as Beardrick was leading, not quite knowing the exact north direction, heading more east than north. So call it northeast, northeast, yeah.
East of northeast or north?
Yeah,
of
east
northeast?
of northeast, yeah.
But not east.
Not exactly east. So you're still somewhat heading the right direction, but not completely. It looked like it might have taken 2 hours off your what you might estimate would be your time to get there. But
okay.
You make out the direction you need to head into, and using now being above the tree line and seeing now the direction of the sun, because it is now, I'll tell you now time. It's now 1 o'clock. So you've managed to track the direction of the sun, determining which way is north, and also just looking at the line of the forest. There is a bit of a clear cut the higher up you go. So you fly in pretty high up, and you can kind of make out the line of the forest, which you know you kind of need to follow.
Do you need to go back and join up with a trail, or
Not necessarily. You can correct your course. So all you'd have to kind of do is head northwest, and you'll eventually correct your course after a couple of, you deduce maybe an hour of walking, you would have corrected your course and come back to mostly the edge of the forest as you make your way forward.
While Paul is flying, we are searching for a town or a castle after all. It's quite a significant landmark. Can I see any of that?
No, not from where you are at this point in time. No, you do give a good look around. You're looking for any man-made structure or any civilization or civilized structures. At this point in time, you don't make out anything. No.
Okay, no, that's fine.
All right. So you take the lead now, Adar, since you kind of realize what the direction is. You can leave Polly flying up above, but you come back to your own senses. And
it depends on when does Polly, get exhausted or.
He doesn't get exhausted. He can stay out as long as you'd like him to stay out.
Oh, that's excellent. Yes, I keep him up. Can I have him on a passive watch? Just see if he can see movement or ambush or something while just let's say, can we see him?
The mist is a bit thick. You got a sense of where you are because you are connected to the parrot. Yeah. Okay. You've got a sense of where he is because you are connected to him, but you don't see. There's no direct line of sight. No.
Okay, so I'll just have him fly, circles in the direction because he's obviously much quicker than we are going to walk through the forest. Let's say 300 meters ahead, just looking down at a passive perception.
That's fine.
And me just following, the sense of him.
Yeah, and you give him a kind of like an order to just give you a warning if he sees anything strange.
Yes.
And also what you'd notice when you were looking through his eyes is that this point, when he was kind of circling around to see what's going on and flying a bit higher to get above the mist layer, is that it looks like it's a bit of a basin here, quite large. Just as far as the eye can see, it looks like it's kind of dipping a little bit. And then off in the distance, it might look like it's rising, but it's difficult to tell because it's mist and where there isn't mist, it's just trees.
Are we heading through the center of this basin, or are we kind of course correcting away from it now?
You're course correcting. It's difficult to see where the edges of these basins are. It looks like you might see the northern section of it, but it's difficult to see where the sides of this basin kind of starts. So it looks like you're going to cross into it, obviously, but it's not like a massive deep thing. It's just barely perceptible from that height that the parrot's flying at. Yeah.
And is it all those eerie trees?
Yeah, so it's difficult to see the trees within the basin itself. You see bits of it, bits popping out and poking out, but yeah, it looks like this part, the basin is almost causing the mist to kind of sit in it. That's what it looks like. It looks like a mist of basin with the mist sitting in it and some trees.
Wait. Let me get my book. I studied this yesterday. There's a specific word for it. Specific word for mist in a basin or sorry.
Are you studying climatology or what's not meteorology?
It's called valley fog.
Yeah.
Settles into the hollows and basins between hills and mountains. It's a type of radiation fog. When cooler, heavier air laden with condensed water droplets is trapped beneath a layer of lighter, warmer air and hemmed in by the ridges and peaks. It can't escape and often lingers for days.
Ooh, Ada, you're so knowledgeable.
Well.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. So I'd say that Ado has some scientific knowledge, so I'd say that he would know that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not going to explain that to the guys. I'm just saying, hey guys, be on the lookout. We're going through a foggy area. And it's quite a large foggy area, but it
Be on the
seems
lookout
like
for
we're
what?
yes. I don't know what, but just be on the lookout.
Do I see anything?
No, there's nothing yet. I mean, we're just gonna move through a foggy area, a weird area. That's all.
With us sort of heading to Coneyberry, which is, I guess a weird area. Isn't that like a good thing? Shouldn't we embrace the weird at this stage?
Fair enough. But okay, yeah. But that is my turn.
All right. So Adar, okay, so you kind of course direct the group. Who's going to take lead on just basic perception as you make your way through the mist? There's only going to be one roll because it's technically with disadvantage, but because there will be more than one of you looking, it's just going to be a single roll.
I can roll.
All right, so soon taking a look out. So you're going to take lead then, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Was soon nearby?
18.
Nice. Okay. All right, so you make your way. Adar is standing nearby, kind of directing you as you go. Every now and then, just checking on Polly, making sure you guys are heading in the right direction to course correct. You just make out through the mist. You hear strange sounds coming from deep within the mist. Strange yipping and it sounds like dogs crying almost. But it sounds like it's far off again. It's not anything nearby, and you think that it's nothing to worry about just yet. Yeah, you think it's. I mean, there are a lot of noises, but that's one of the more worrying sounds you pick up. You hear the sound. Sorry.
I just point out the sound to whomever's closest, just to ensure that I'm not the only one that's.
I just wanted to say that if anybody else see it or hear it, sorry.
All right, and
Emma, do a nature check.
yeah, I'd say roll a nature check if you want to try and find out or determine what this sound is.
Hang on, I'm being directed here on what to do. Playing Emma indirectly. Alright. She rolled a 13.
You've never heard these sounds before. It sounds a little alien, actually. Also, you hear strange birds and other insects that you guys haven't really heard before. It's just a different part of the forest. It feels like this basin is almost separate from the rest of the forest. And also, you know that if you kind of, most of you might have known the lore that Neverwinterwood is a very, very ancient forest with many different aspects to it. So as you make your way through the fog, Sassoon, up ahead, with that high perception roll, probably 50 feet, so a good 20 meters away, you notice something lying in the direction you're kind of walking. It's thick and rope-like, and it's kind of just almost in the path of in the direction you're heading. It looks round like this, long and kind of just going, not moving or anything. It's just kind of strewn or laying across the area in front of you. It looks like a root, but not quite like a root, or like a vine.
I take out my sling and I try and hit it with the sling.
All right.
I heard thing. I was like, what the?
All right. Roll to hit. What is the range on a sling, by the way?
30. 30 feet, but it's a natural one.
Yeah, you roll. You start swinging this thing, and as you let loose, you feel you've been practicing quite a bit, so you think you're confident, but the stone comes flinging out the back end, so the wrong way around, and it smacks Ada in the forehead. And Ada, you're gonna take one point of bludgeoning damage as the stone just smacks into your forehead,
Yeah.
and you give a cry of pain.
No.
Oh. That missed.
Sorry, safety wasn't on.
Was it on? Well, set your sling to stun, my friend. Oh. Yeah.
All right. So, after that poor shot, nothing really happens. Whatever is across the path up ahead doesn't seem to have done anything, or yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's probably laughing at me.
Focusing on Polly, I didn't completely see the object in the road, but the rock brought me back to Earth, and I just indicate to Roger to go forward and investigate.
Right.
I would like Roger to go forward and just like poke it with his pipe.
Roger. And
Roger.
he makes his way forward. As he gets within 30 feet of this thing, in a flash of movement, whatever was lying there comes alive, and almost barely perceptible, it moves with insane haste and immediately goes towards and attacks Roger. Roger, obviously not being able to be surprised, I'd like everybody to roll initiative at this point.
Oh, wow. Emma rolled a natural 20, so that adds up to 23.
Nice. Okay, so all right, so 20 to 25. So Emma got 23. Anybody between 15 and 20? Not?
Hang on. 15. Bridget.
Bedrick got 15.
What did I do?
You rolled a 23.
For what?
Initiative. I don't know, right?
And then who got between 10 and 15?
I have 10.
I have 12.
Okay, so Adar. And then. And what did Roger roll?
He shares my initiative.
Oh, yeah. 12 and 10. Alright. And who are we missing here?
Me. I rolled 8.
Yeah?
8.
And 8. Daenerys kind of sleeping in the back.
Yeah.
Alright. So as Roger moves forward, the snake is going to go first. Since Roger's initiative is lower than it. So yeah, you notice this quite a large and strange looking snake. If I just go to the imagery, it looks kind of like that. This almost camouflaged in between the leaves. It was quite thick, so it looked like a giant vine sitting on the path up ahead, and quite long. You don't see the front or back end of this thing, but as it comes around the corner, you see this viper-like head rushing, and again at almost a blurry speed towards Roger as Roger approaches. It's going to strike at Roger with its bite.
Ooh.
All right. That's a 21 to hit.
That barely hits.
Okay, so and then is Roger, is Roger immune to poison?
Yebo. Damage, immunity is poison, and condition immunity, poison.
Alright, cool, yeah.
Poison,
That's
yeah.
what I thought. Sorry, that was cocked. Alright, so Roger takes 5 points of piercing damage from these large teeth that sink into his metal armor. Luckily, him being a construct, a metal construct, it doesn't take any effect. But you can see Roger can almost see the frustration in this snake's eyes, and almost panicking, Roger screams out, "Roger, Roger, Roger, Roger!" These 2 tears kind of across his chest, the magical light almost seeping out of it. It was quite a deep bite. These fangs look massive. Roger got about, let's say, 30 feet. So the snake is 30 feet from all of you. Alright, and that's going to end. That was kind of its like surprise turn, if we can call it that. So we're going to go top of the round now. Emma, you're up. You're standing at the back of the group. The snake is about 60 feet in front of you. What do you do? Emma, you there?
Could I throw it with my dagger?
You can definitely try.
Okay, that sounds
Well put.
fantastic.
You just
Actually, my mage hand can't attack, right?
no.
Okay.
So you can roll to hit with your dagger if you'd like. It's just within range, although Roger is kind of standing in front of it at this point.
Oh dear. Okay, but my mage hand can move, Roger.
No, it's too heavy. The mage hand can only, I think, move like a pound or something like that of weight.
Okay, well then I'd like to try command.
10 pounds. All right, yeah, you cast command. Let's quickly see here. It's an action. Yeah, the range is 60 feet, so it's just within range. It's only verbal. Yeah, so you cast command. You speak one word, command to create to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw, or follow the command. Okay, so what's your save DC? So that means your spell save. So I'm going to roll the wisdom for this creature. And your save DC is what it needs to beat.
Where do we check that?
It should be under spells.
It's 13.
Okay, got it.
A 13. All right.
But I haven't cast it yet. Lekker bietjie.
All right. Well, you have to decide quickly, hey? When we hit battle, you need to decide quickly. Otherwise, I mean, in a real life situation, there's not going to be much time to kind of and ah about things.
No, roll command.
Oh, you don't roll command. It's a wisdom saving throw for the creature.
Alright, so she casts another creature has to do
Okay.
wisdom saving. Alright.
Yeah. So now you've cast, and now the creature's going to roll a wisdom saving, and your save DC is 13. It rolled a 13, so it manages to shrug off the effect of your command.
Of course.
All right, what would you like to do? You've still got a bonus action, and you got some movement.
Yes, can I please move to the back? I just want to back off from this.
Well, you're right at the back of the group at the moment. It's 60 feet ahead of you. You still have Beardrick and Adon Sassoon in front of you. So you are just within range of some of your spells and things. So if you move further back, you're going to start heading out of range of this thing.
Can I cast Bless?
No, that unless it's a bonus action, no. So you go under actions, look under bonus actions, and that will tell you what you'll be able to do.
my spiritual weapon,
Yeah.
I would like to cast big sword.
Alright, so you summon a big sword and it's got a 60-foot range, so you're able to summon it right by the snake creature.
And to swipe at this snake creature.
Okay, roll to hit.
Yeah, 10.
10. Oh, yeah, sorry. I heard, okay, 10. No, that misses. It goes in for a strike, but it's a little hard to see with the mist and Roger standing in front of it. So as the sword comes down to strike at the large snake creature, the sword misses, unfortunately. All right. You still have movement. Would you like to move anywhere or end your turn?
No, I'd like to end my turn.
All right, so that ends your turn. Okay, the snake kind of sensing that there's danger up ahead with that spell that was just cast, and seeing the rest of the group, is going to attack and move with incredibly lightning speed to Sassoon. You see it slithering. It makes a terrible hissing sound. As it moves, you just see this red liquid. It's strange. It's just kind of trailing behind it. You're not quite sure what it is Sassoon before it's on top of you and it's going to attempt to bite you. Fuck. That's a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
Alright, so as it goes in for a strike, it misses. But yeah, it's not, doesn't look deterred. It rears up again as if it's going to strike, but that will end its turn. Beardrick, you're up.
Right, I see this thing trying to attack Sassoon, I assume.
Yeah. So you're kind of behind Adar, who's behind Sassoon at this point.
From my point, I'll take my action and I will try and shoot with a short bow.
Alright, so you kind of move off to the side to kind of get out from behind Adar and Sassoon. Pull out your bow. Okay, roll to hit.
Right, rolling. Just a second, it's a bit of a delay in the signal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me jump on the phone because I hit roll or hit that, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it says also loading on this side.
Oh, wait, there it goes, there it goes. I don't want to roll twice, man, that's the thing, so I just want to
That's okay.
finish. So slow motion. Right, looks like 23.
Yeah, that definitely hits. Roll some damage.
Right. Damage. Probably gonna wait the same amount of time now. So, oh no, there it goes, there it goes. Okay, that looks like a 4 plus 3.
So 7. Alright. The arrow goes, it just nicks the snake, its scales on its midsection, cutting a deep gash in it. The arrow kind of whizzing through into the brush. But it seems to be pretty much unharmed. Just a bit of, again, it looks like this thick blood, this red ooze, just not like flowing out, but almost like a zit popping and like just kind of crackling out of it. It looks rather disgusting, and so soon this decay smell hits your nostrils as its flesh is pierced. Anything else you'd like to do, Beatrice?
I'll take my bonus action and just hide.
Alright, so there are a lot of trees and things, so it's not difficult for you to find a nearby rock and brush to hide behind, so roll a stealth check for me, please.
health. There we go. I just need to move to the app. The computer's too slow. It's coming. It's airborne. Should be landing soon. Hit the ground and. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think it's safe to say I can stealth away.
All right. So you feel nice. Yeah, you feel confident that you are pretty well hidden. You even from your party, everyone just kind of sees Bedrick disappear into the brush.
Yeah.
All right. All right. That ends your turn. Adar, you're up.
Yes. So I'm correct to assume that the snake is just in front of me.
Yeah.
By so soon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just move into striking distance with my hand axe
Mm-hmm.
and swing at its head.
All right. So you try and go for a headshot. I'm going to say because its head is near Sassoon, you're not quite flanking it. So I'm going to just say roll a normal shot, normal hit.
Oh shit! Forget about flanking. Oh, nat
What?
one.
Yeah, you go in for a hit, and almost as if it was on purpose, you swing and nick Sassoon on the arm, and Sassoon, you take 1 point of slashing damage.
Thanks for the revenge, I guess.
Was not on purpose, I guess.
Anything else you'd like to try?
I can use my bonus action if I'm not mistaken. It's 2-weapon fighting.
Right, but I think you need two.
Oh,
weapons.
I need another weapon. Yeah,
you need 2 weapons. Yeah.
I have another weapon. It's just in my bag.
Yeah, you're gonna have to draw. You can draw that out as a bonus action if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to do that then.
All right, so you equip your other weapon, and now you're two-handing it.
I just want to make sure what weapon I'm getting out there. I think it's my mace. Yeah. I'd like to just instruct Roger to retreat back to us, and then also go in for a hit.
All right, so Roger comes in from behind, this time flanking it, so Roger will get advantage on the hit.
Okay. It was 7. I don't know. Think is no, that would not hit.
That's the first roll. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 3.
No, Roger goes in, but the snake is slippery, and and its scales seem pretty hard. His metal rod just seems to scrape off, almost sounding like it's hitting metal on metal as it clinks off this hard scale. Actually, its tail, where there's some bony protrusion, some strange-looking dagger-like thing, bone-like dagger, whatever, on its tail. That ends your turn.
Sorry, just to, for the sake of completeness, it would have been an 11 and a 7.
Yeah, no, they both miss.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I suspected they both miss.
All right, so soon you're up.
Okay, so I have advantage with Roger and Adar being there.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I'm just going to punch this thing in its neck, I suppose.
Okay.
And I'll do it all 3 times using my key points to do 2 strikes as a bonus action.
All right, let's roll to hit then.
The first one is 13.
That hits, yeah. Roll some.
I'll-
Yeah, roll all of them. Yeah.
The second one is 25.
That hits.
And the third one. Oh, the second one is a natural 20.
Shit. Okay.
So
Nice.
let me just roll that one before I lose the
Yeah.
bonus thingy.
Yeah.
So that's 6 points. Let's roll the first one as well. Also 6 points. And
That's
then
12.
the last one, 18 to hit,
That hits. Yeah.
and that's 7 points.
So for a total of 19.
19.
Sure.
As I just jab in the one neck and then sort of duck out of the way of the tail and then jab again. And yeah, I won't move on anything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and as you're jabbing the snake, the blood from the gash on its back that Beatrix has caused, the stuff starts popping out of it, touching the ground. You see it starting to smoke up as it touches the ground. Each blow making more and more ooze kind of push out of this wound. The snake taking some serious damage. It's looking a little not shaky, but it's looking a little dazed from those powerful strikes. All right, Daenerys, you're up.
Can I try and hit him with my spear?
All right, so you're going to throw your spear, or you're going to do a melee attack.
Yes. I want to hit him in his face if I can.
All right, so you're going to rush up to it and all right. So as you move up to make a melee attack, you can roll to hit with advantage.
17.
That hits.
Oh.
So then you can roll the 1d8 for damage since you're using it as a melee weapon. 3 points of damage.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you're going for the strike, your spear tip just manages to pierce the thing's just under its neck, almost looking like it was going to be a vital strike. This ooze coming out, dripping onto the end of your spear. It spills out onto the ground in front of Sassoon. Each drop of this goo kind of causing it to smoke, looking like it's burning the ground beneath, the dead leaves and so on. It's still moving. It's looking really hurt, but it's still looking very aggressive.
Damn it.
Anything else you'd like to try?
Yes, I want to throw my guiding bolt at him as well. My lightning.
That's an action. So you've just had your action, so you can do any bonus action you have left.
Sorry.
get no bonus action. It's not a bonus action. Yeah, spiritual weapon.
I have a spiritual weapon I want to use at him.
Alright, so you cast your spiritual weapon. This arc of lightning appears in front of the snake, looking like a sword of a bolt of or a sword of lightning, basically. Yeah. You can roll to hit.
Yeah. Almost. 15.
That hits. Roll some damage.
10.
Yeah, and that will do it. You can describe how your lightning sword takes out this hideous creature.
My sword went right up into his face, crashing through his skull. Boom, gone.
And you see the bolt of electricity coursing through this creature's body. It immediately goes still. The ooze still kind of coming out of it, dripping onto the ground around you, around the snake. And this putrid smell filling the air around you all. Yeah, it's down and out.
Yay.
Nice, guys. Woo!
Nice, well done. Can I just ask something quickly, folks?
Yeah.
I'm just reading underneath my bonus actions. Weapon fighting. So let's say I shoot an arrow, right? And whether I hit or don't hit, can I use it in my bonus action to do 2-weapon fighting? So I grab both daggers, for example, and attack it?
No, you have to start with 2-weapon fighting. So you have to start with a dagger, and then your next action will be another dagger strike.
Oh, okay, all right. And
So you can't start. Sorry, yeah.
Master of Tactics. It says you can use this use the help action as a bonus action. You use
Yeah.
the help action to line attacking a creature. The target of the attack can be within 30 feet of you if you can see it or hear it.
Yeah. So anybody can actually do the help action, but you have to be within range, meaning that you have to, if you want to help somebody lift something, you have to be there to help them lift on their turn.
So as soon as attacking it, quickly would have been able to jump in and help him.
Yeah, so the Master of Tactics, this allows you to, from 30 feet away, help someone. So you don't actually have to be in range to help. You can be 30 feet away from this person. So you could have done like a distraction to help him. So as a bonus action, you could say, but then you wouldn't have been able to hide, you see. So you can either hide, but you can, if you do Master of Tactics, yeah, then you just say, I distract the snake by doing X, Y, and Z, and then Sassoon would roll with advantage with his attack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's it.
All right. You guys are standing around over this dead snake. What are you doing?
Kick it.
So the snake is like corrosive.
It appears that way. It looks like whatever this creature is, it doesn't seem to be natural.
Roger to
I ask Adod if he has like a glass jar or something.
Oh, do not. Do I?
I
My
don't
bag
know.
is big. I have to look through it. Continue
do
with
you-
how this.
Do you still have the shell from the glass snail, or the pieces of glass from the glass snail?
Yes. Flail snail shell. 1 square foot of snail shell.
Do you think you can take a little bit of acid for later, or?
It's like a flat piece. You imagine more a plate than a shell.
Okay.
Can we roll to see if we identify this creature?
Yeah, you can roll a, I would say, let me just check here. Yeah, nature, yeah, a nature check.
Anybody gonna help me?
I'll help.
So you can either roll nature or actually arcana as well.
Just give me 1 tiny second. Skills. Can I roll a card then? Or...
It's up to you what you'd like to roll. You could roll a nature and someone else could roll an arcana if they'd like.
They're helping me when I'm gonna roll the advantage, right?
Yeah. So but this is just a nature check. The arcana might give you different information.
So, okay. Damn it! Now I don't know which is based.
I'll get the +4 on
Okay,
Arcana.
I think-
want to do nature.
I'll do nature, then Emma can do Arcana then.
All right.
Anyone else have a higher Arcana than 4? +4.
Yes.
I rolled a 16 on nature.
All right, a 16. You've heard Bedrick tales, especially coming from a dark region such as the Shadowfell and the Netherese, who often experiment with strange beasts and creatures and also often kind of, yeah, I mean they're strange people. And you've heard tell of the Hungerer beasts. These beasts leap into battle and can rush prey with incredible speed. The smell of the blood can drive some berserk. some unusual features is the crimson blood that oozes out of it when damaged. And also specifically with this snake, the dagger-like tail make this hungerous snake easy to identify. You also know that these creatures are actually were probably once normal unless born this way. It was probably a normal snake, and through a disease or almost perhaps maybe more a curse. You can't quite remember the tale 100%, but under the influence of this curse, you might have heard it called the tears of the hungerer. The infection doesn't kill, but it makes the animal extremely aggressive, and it becomes a carrier of this disease. And even creatures that were once docile, under the influence of this disease, become very dangerous.
If we touch this creature, do we get the same disease?
You don't know that yet. You don't know.
But okay, well, in any case, I'll turn around to the group and start explaining everything that was just said, including the disease part. But I'll clarify that I'm not sure if it's contagious or not. So before we touch it, we should be really careful. Consider at least.
Sassoon, you still want to collect some samples?
I honestly don't know now.
Because I can, a class feature of mine is the right tool for the job. So if you can give me 1 hour of uninterrupted work, I can craft any a set of artisan tools.
So yeah, you could create an alchemy kit that would allow you to perhaps collect some of whatever you need, whatever you want.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was corrosive, but now it just seems like it's some kind of poison that can make normal creatures go crazy.
They just go crazy. They have no lesion. They're just berserk.
Yeah, you're not sure. Bedrick isn't sure. Yeah, they become very aggressive. Yeah.
Let's take a sample, and we attach it to Polly, and then next time we spot someone ahead, we drop it on them from Polly and see what they do.
Whoa. Okay, I don't know how that's gonna plan out.
A few rolls that has to go quite nice, but
That, and then what are we gonna create? I mean, something that already wanted to hurt us is not gonna want to hurt us even more.
No, not somebody we're engaged with. Like, if there's a goblin group up front, you only have to hit one of them, and he'll go crazy, and they'll fight each other. And then while they're fighting, we just flank the shit out of them.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, I like that.
I think it's definitely worth a try.
I think it's worth a try.
It's not really my fighting style, but
Oh, you'll love to see it though. Okay, I think but do you? Okay, what time is it now?
It's around say 1:30.
1:30. The fight wasn't too long. So you guys need to get me 1 hour of uninterrupted work. Then I'll just craft an alchemy set, and then we grab some samples. But we don't know if it's contagious, but at least then we can, you know, if we find a rabbit or something small, we can throw it with the shit.
So with the hour of short rest, I also get my key point back. So I think we just take a short little rest.
Okay, that does that. Is everybody fine with that?
Yep.
Patrick?
Good.
Good. Okay. then with my, do I lose, like, do I basically sacrifice a set of thieves tools and artisan tools for it?
I'm not sure. Let me quickly read. What's it called? The right tool for the job.
Yes.
At third level, you know how to produce exactly the tool you need. Tools or artisan tools, you can magically create one set of artisan tools in an unoccupied space. No, you just magically create it. This creation requires 1 hour of uninterrupted work, which can coincide with a short or long rest. Though the product of magic, the tools are non-magical and they vanish when you use this feature again. So no, it's. I don't think you've used this feature before.
No.
So yeah, so you it's just a magic creation. So just mark off that you've used it. Perhaps make a note under when you add the alchemy kit. Just mark off a note that you've used it. You've cast it using the right tool for the job. So if you do use it again, then that disappears.
Okay.
That tool disappears. I'll say when you create the right tool for the job and you create the alchemy kit, I'll say you'll get one glass vial that comes with it.
Okay, but sufficient equipment to safely handle and extract said ooze.
Yeah.
Is there a significant difference between, or is it the blood of the creature that is it, or is there a different?
I mean, it looks like the snake has some serious fangs, and you can, looking at Roger's bite marks, it looks like there's some of that. It looks like there's some poison, and it looks like it's slowly corroding the metal of where it's kind of touched. Not like massively. It's just like discoloring it. It's not eating away necessarily. So you can assume that this creature definitely has some poison that's I mean, it's a massive fuck off snake. So yeah.
Massive. Is that the technical term, or?
That's just what it looks like.
Okay.
It's the layman's term.
A layman's term. Okay. What do you guys guess? We take some of the poison, or?
Yeah, I thought that was the idea, to sort of just have a vial of aggressive liquid.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's. We don't know. Oh, okay. No, I don't know. We don't know how it works. Is it the?
I thought that was also sort of part of the plan, is to figure out what happens by wasting it on somebody else.
Okay, sorry, Toto. Is there
Yeah?
do we see two different types of icky liquid?
Yeah.
venom
So the venom. Yeah, and the blood is it's like this weird ichor, like this thick ooze that's kind of leaking out of it with it's got a very putrid smell. It looks like it's very strange. You can that's the kind of two liquids that you've identified.
Yeah, see, I don't know which one is the angry juice. Is it the?
I cast detect poison and disease. I know it's a concentration spell.
Yeah, you can cast that. Let me just quickly read. I didn't even know that was a spell. Detect. Detect poison and disease. All right. For the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poison, poisonous creatures, and disease within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. Yeah, you can cast it. Just mark off a spell slot once you do. All right, so you cast it, hey Emma?
Let me just see spell slot.
Yeah, you see. Sassoon.
How do I cast it again?
Cast it again?
How do I cast that spell again?
You just click on cast.
Okay, but nothing's happening.
Oh no, nothing will happen. Sorry, nothing will happen. When you click on cast, it just marks off a spell slot. So remember, at first level, you only have 4 spell slots at first level. Then at second level, you have 3.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you cast your spell. I just want to see here. You leaf. Yeah. So you pull out Emma. You see everyone. You will see Emma pull out a very bright green leaf, quite large-ish, and she kind of mutters and waves it in front of her, saying a few arcane words, almost looking like a prayer more than arcane rather. And Emma, you guys don't notice anything strange, but Emma, you immediately looking around, it looks, you can see almost everything around you is somewhat has some small level of poison. Everything is kind of emitting a small glow. It doesn't look like it's enough to necessarily affect any large creatures for like short periods of time or anything, but there's a slight hint of it, like almost in the mist and in the air. Looking at the snake itself, though, you do notice that yes, the blood is definitely poisonous. And looking at Roger's pierced armor, that glows particularly bright. You notice it as being actual poison, snake venom, because you can detect what kind of poison it is. So you detect it as being snake venom, and you pick up that it is some sort of cursed disease attached to that same venom on Roger's body. The hungerer, what you call it, the tears of the hungerer that Beatrix had mentioned.
Okay, but I don't know whether Roger will also be now cursed.
You think that he would be okay. He doesn't give off any glow of poison or anything. It just looks like the area where that liquid is kind of sitting on his breastplate, which isn't much. It's just a small little kind of where the two holes are, little wetness there. It gives off quite a bright glow because it's got like a double effect. It's like normal snake venom, which causes normal poisoning and poison damage, as well as this tears of the hungerer disease. So that gives off a particularly bright aura.
Okay, then I'd like to turn to Soon and ask him to please think twice and share with him my insight into this poison surroundings, what I saw in the surroundings.
It seems like if we take some of the fang poison, it's a infuse as well, since the creature will go berserk, but will probably die if he can't constitute save himself. Wouldn't you agree, Sasson?
So do we want poison or do we want crazy juice?
I think what she saw is the poison has crazy juice included in it as well.
Okay, so do you want crazy juice or poison crazy juice?
Yes. I'm fine with either. You know, the one we can use on a bigger adversaries.
Just go for the poison crazy juice.
Let's go for the crazy poison juice.
Yeah.
All right, so you all sit and it's going to take you're going to take a short rest. Ado, you don't take a short rest, but the rest of you do.
It can coincide.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're right, it does, yeah. So you can all take a short rest. As he creates this toolkit. Anybody keeping watch? Anybody not taking a short rest, basically?
Is it possible to remove one of its fangs without being poisoned?
You can certainly try.
Okay, no, I'd rather not do that. It's fine.
Can I do it with the alchemy set, you know, kind of to get it out and then milk it, or is that...
Yeah, it's... so what we'll do is you sit for the hour, create your alchemy kit. You see Sassoon You can kind of describe, if you'd like, what you do when you do your tool for the right job incantation.
Oh, well, you put me on the spot there. Using, see, I can use artisan tools of my liking, or thieves tools. I don't know why they specify thieves tools.
You use it as an arcane focus almost. So you
Yeah,
use
yeah,
it to channel
why-
your energy through.
But why did they say with thieves tools or artisans tools in hand?
Because a thieves' tools aren't artisan. Artisan is something you make. Thieves' tools is for
yes,
breaking
yes,
in. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. But since the thieves' tools at the beginning of the campaign has come in very much handy, saving Sassoon's life multiple times, they resurface and feature again. Sassoon almost getting flashbacks as I open up that leather pouch, unrolling it, and with the assortment of picks laying in front of me. I take the rakes and the pressure bars all in a weird way, almost as if I'm gonna knit something, but more in a pencil grip. And slowly but surely, my hands moving backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Blue light, blue sparks, almost as if coming out of the tips of the tools, but not completely, and almost as if it's just being conjured out of thin air. You know, layer after layer, movement after movement, just making small hand gestures, and creating one item at a time. First, it was a clear glass vial with a good sealing cork on top. Then it was a pair of, I don't know what is in what is the alchemist tools.
I also have no idea really.
Just wanna, how do you spell alchemist?
ALCH, I think.
Alchemist tools. Okay. Oh, there's. Okay, here's a weird picture. Some sort of tongs that you can see the alchemists have developed over countless eras where they've been touching their samples and face the consequences. Another pair of tongs, but instead of a grippy surface at the front, it's almost as if it's two cups closing in to grab or encase a sample as you move it over to your catching vessel. And lastly, a small metal funnel, just to ensure that every drop you extract, you direct straight into your capturing vessel, not spilling some of the stuff, sometimes extremely precious samples.
Nice. Actually, you get two glass beakers, I see here, but I think just because you're creating it, one I think will be sufficient with this magic creation.
Okay.
Alright, no, that's fine. Alright, and that was a beautiful description. Thank you, Arrow. I'll give you inspiration for that beautiful rendition of your right tool for the job. Yeah, of your right. Well, it sounded like a rendition for the right tools for the job.
Ah, thank you.
All right, so
Nice.
you guys, yeah, carry on.
Something nice. Better.
Ah, thank you.
Okay, so now I would like you to. Okay, so you can all mark off a short rest, and if you want, you can roll hit point. But although I don't think anyone took damage, you can now roll a nature check for me, please, Adar, as you go and try and collect some of the poison from the fangs.
Okay.
I'll try and assist him if I'll be helpful. I don't know if I'll just get in the way.
Well, I'd say you'd need proficiency in nature if you're going to help him.
Can I use my inspiration now as well?
Yeah, you can use inspiration if you'd like.
It's a nature check, right?
Yeah, so you can re-roll. Yeah.
Well, I haven't rolled it once. I just.
Alright.
Yeah. No, I'm using it. It was a 3
Okay.
plus 4.
Gaining inspiration. I just want to see here. Using inspiration. Expend it when you make an attack roll, saving throw, ability check, spending. Your inspiration gives you advantage on that roll. Yeah, so you have advantage. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but it wasn't that good. The first one was 7, and the second one was 10.
Total.
Yeah, total.
It takes you a good part of an hour, before you kind of able to figure out how to exactly use your alchemy kit, which isn't easy to do. The nature check was more on trying to figure out how you're going to extract the poison, and you managed to get a very small amount, maybe not even a teaspoon size, of this poison, like basically a drop from its fangs, and you get it into the flask, and it kind of sits there at the bottom, looking a little sad and sorry, but that's all you managed to extract from this creature.
Oh, that wasn't too successful, but at least we have something. Can't use it as the aerial bombardment unless we get more knowledgeable on how we can dilute it. But yeah, we'll see. At least we have it now.
Alright, so you cork it up and that's it.
We can find another big snake, infect it, and then try again.
Yes, now well, let's just start farming the poison and forget everything else.
Every good RPG has a few farming missions.
Okay, we'll start grinding this out until we have a full glass, and then we'll get back to the mission in about a year.
That's fine.
Okay, so at this point, you've spent about 2 hours busy trying to collect this poison. At this point, it's Adar, you kind of go into Polly and you look up at the sun, and you determine it's probably around 3 o'clock or 3:30 at this point. Still have a couple of hours of daylight left, but you guys know you've wasted a little bit of time, and might want to get on the road. You get the sense that you might not want to spend the night in this valley.
Which way is into the edge of the forest? Can you see with Polly?
Can't see the edge of the forest. It's just this basin we're in, and we're kind of knowing we're on the rim, or we're heading through the basin, but not straight through at least. But at the other side, we'll be back in the forest, and then close to the edge.
Yeah, you guys still have 2 more successes you need to make to kind of get on track again. So at this point, when you look through Polly, it looks like you not quite through the center of this depression quite yet. You're approaching it, but still a little bit off. I'm going to need you to make another check.
From Polly?
You can do it from Polly again if you want to, another perception, but the DC is going to be higher.
From the same character, with other words.
Yeah, from the same. The same character can do a different type of check if you'd like. You can describe something different that you do, but if you do something similar, then the DC increases. The difficulty level or whatever. Yeah.
Can we see the sun again, or is it like very dark in the forest now?
It feels gloomy. It's not necessarily dark. It's almost colorless. It's you can see about 50 feet in this fog. It's 150 feet, about 50 meters. There isn't light necessarily penetrating inside. It's just like a gloom. It's not complete dark or anything, but yeah.
So
Uh,
we can try and keep the sun at our west and just get through the forest, or
But we'll have to. Yeah, okay. Because I guess we got a good layout of poly, but we can't see any landmarks. They haven't invented compasses yet, right?
No, they are.
Oh.
A compass is just something that detects uh, magnetic fields. So if you take a glass of water and you put a leaf on it, and then just like a small weight, like a magnet or something, uh, it'll turn to face the sort of the magnetic pull of the Earth, and then that'll just be your compass.
Yeah, I think let's do that. See where magnetic is, and then estimate the direction Polly was taking us into.
All right.
And then head in that direction.
All right. I'd say roll a. I'm gonna say a intelligence performance check. So
Intelligence.
yeah, so I'm gonna say if you proficient in performance, you can add your proficiency modifier, but otherwise you just roll a straight intelligence if you're not proficient in it.
I'm not proficient in performance.
Isn't performance a charisma, or?
Yeah, it is. It's a charisma, but I'm adding it. I'm making it a intelligence. Because I mean, how would you roll this exactly? Unless you want to make it sleight of hand, which is more dexterity. This is more like I feel like an intelligence thing, but it's not arcana or anything. It's kind of putting it together. Unless you just roll a straight intelligence check.
Insight, maybe.
Insight. No, it's not really insight.
Okay. Okay, straight. No. There aren't really a category for.
Yeah. Other than that, it could also just be like a nature check, since I see that is also an intelligence sort of.
Yeah. All right, so let's make it a nature check then.
Okay. Is it me or Sassoon?
It's whoever wants to do it.
My laptop went off, but I can roll a d20.
What is your modifier?
It's
a +1.
+1 then.
Oh. Should I do it?
You can do it.
Okay. I'm just gonna do a nature.
All right.
14.
All right. So with that, you put down your. You basically do exactly what Sassoon kind of describes you need to do, and you also reading up on having read on basic compass builds or whatever. You manage to put something serviceable together, and through that and knowing the direction Polly kind of starting to head you in towards, it feels like you know where you're going. That is a success. So you make your way. Yeah, there was a good idea. So the DC on that was low, and you hadn't rolled a nature check yet, so to determine the direction.
What was our other rolls? What checks were there?
There was a survival. There was a perception.
Now nature.
And a nature now, yeah. There was one more actually. that Beardrick had done. No, Beardrick did. What did Beardrick do? I think Beardrick also did a. No, he did investigation. Oh no, sorry. I think Emma did investigation. Beardrick did. Fuck, I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm just. I'm gonna mark it down now. I'm marking down the successes, not necessarily the rolls. I thought I would have remembered. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So you guys make your way. Hey.
Nature check.
You also made a nature check. All right. But that's okay. It was a different kind of check, and I mean we were kind of debating on what you would do here, so I'd count it as a success still. All right. So you guys make your way. Feeling confident you're heading in the right direction. What is your marching order, and who's heading the perception checks?
I'll take up the rear again since fast.
All right. So soon you're at the back. Who's taking lead and who's taking watch?
Take watch.
All right. So Daenerys decides to take the lead. Adar right behind.
No, I'm taking watch.
Oh, well, you kind of needed. All right. Well, I'll put you just behind Adar then.
Okay, that's fine. Paul is still in the air, giving us some passive, but he's clearly not leading us anymore, but just
keeping a lookout.
Drumming together with us.
All right. So Daenerys, roll a perception check for me, please.
Uh, 10.
Alright, so you guys make your way through the forest. The strange mist still all around. As you make your way further north, northwest-ish, I'm starting to head more in the north direction. You make out the usual sounds of this strange forest, strange birds chirping, weird insect noises. The smell of this putrid smell starts to get a little stronger, but you don't see anything strange. And in the mist, it's actually difficult to see any animals. You don't actually see any life. You just hear it. It's around you. There is some form of life in this area. You eventually come to a point where you kind of step, and Adar, you notice this first. The floor starts to feel slightly sticky, and you look down, and in between, and also the trees like around you start to look less and less alive. They start looking a lot more leafless, a lot more skeleton-like, small, thin. Some of them still quite large, but they look pretty dead, or at least as if they haven't leafed, or whatever you call it, flowered, or whatever you want to call it. And the sticky substance is kind of beneath the leaves on the ground, and when you lift your feet, a bit of leaves go with you as you start to walk and trudge. It almost feels a little marshy. The smell here is quite pungent as well. And in fact, in this specific area, when you get here, it's been about 2 hours march since you left the snake behind. So it's around 5 o'clock or 5:30. It's starting to become quite gloomy. The mist is still all around, and the sound of the insects have somewhat died down. You can still hear one or two chirping. The sound of whatever bird life there were is also disappeared. But you do make out the sound of high-pitched chirping noise, as if it's I mean, it's quite strange. It's I'll tell you now. It's like it sounds like perhaps a strange frog or something that's on helium, like this. But it's coming up like almost up ahead, and it starts to become, well, not up ahead, but almost like it's surrounding you a little bit. But yeah, it's difficult to make out anything in the fog, especially with that low roll. Okay, so you continue, and as you're walking, I would like Adar, you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Okay. 9.
9.
Roger as well.
No, just you. Is Roger next to you?
Or, where did I put him? Yeah. I had him just next to me.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's just for you.
Okay.
But that's fine. I just wanted to know where his position was. As you walk, Adar, you hear this chirping also all around you, and you don't necessarily see what it is, but these puddles of sticky substance, whatever it is, as you kind of look, it's difficult to tell the color because there isn't much light. It just looks black. But all of a sudden, something jumps. You step, and if you feel something soft, and you feel a wriggling and a jump. When all of a sudden, with this jump, you see sparks fly. And with that, you like, what the frick? And as this, whatever this thing is that jumps, and you just see these couple of sparks, all of a sudden, there's fire that just pops up around you. The ground beneath your feet catches a light. And for 10 squares around you, there's flame. And you and Roger are going to take fire damage.
I think I'm immune to fire.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's just quickly see. Even though you're immune, I think it means you just take half damage. Where do you see that?
I don't think he's immune. I think he's resistant.
Yeah, resistant. Yeah, so you take half damage. Where do you see that? Proficiencies. But yeah, you take then. Where the hell do you? Oh, you have resistance to fire damage. Yeah.
Fire damage, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it means.
It just means you take half damage. So you take 2 points of fire damage. As this fire just comes up around you, and Roger also takes 4 points, unless he's also got resistance.
No.
Alright, so he takes a full 4 points of fire damage. You guys get a fright, and you step back and kind of moving Daenerys behind you, kind of pushing her away. You all get this fright as all of a sudden you see this light. It kind of burns the mist away a little bit. And for for about a minute, this fire burns bright hot before it slowly dies down again. And for that brief minute, you can kind of see the trees. They are grey and colourless. They appear to have probably been dead for a while. And the ground is just covered in debris, ancient leaf and other kinds of vegetation that had died quite a while ago, before this fire starts to kind of simmering down and dying out. What do you do?
It just like came from underneath us.
Yeah, you had stepped, you felt something kind of wriggle a bit, and then you just saw something kind of jump with a spark, and then all of a sudden there was just flames around you in a 10-foot square radius.
Obviously, just get out my weapons and stand still and feel like running's gonna solve it. And I do let's say a perception check.
Yeah.
If it if it was a trap or it was an attack, is it coming again or what?
If I saw the fire, I would also rush as quick as I can to Adar's side.
All right.
I would like to assist him with the perception check once I'm there.
All right. Since you are looking within your immediate vicinity, I'll give you advantage on that check, Adar.
Okay. This is this rolls today. Fucking hell. 4 plus 1, 5.
Is that with advantage?
Nope. 11.
Alright, so that's not very high. You look around, you don't necessarily see anything, but with that 11, you just make out, it sounds like something like popping, like a whoop, whoop, just every now and then, not very frequent, and it just sounds slightly slightly coming from up ahead.
Slightly coming up ahead.
Well, it's not like, I mean, it's not near, it's probably, you deduce maybe 100 feet from you, up ahead. So that's
tells us,
30 meters.
it tells us soon I hear a blobbing noise straight in front, but I think there might be more traps.
I take out my sling and try and shoot a rock in the direction of the blobbing noise.
I just
Alright.
put forward because that's all I know. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just say roll to hit, just to see what happens.
19.
Alright, so you roll, you give a good throw, I mean, in the exact direction you wanted to go in, and it travels, it goes 30 feet, it goes just over 30 feet, past where you hear the noise, towards the noise, and you hear a small plop, like as if it hit some sort of a liquid. You don't quite see as far as the stone went. It kind of disappeared into the mist before you hear the sound of it kind of plopping onto the ground.
Well, I did what I could do. Now the sport people have to.
I send Roger, just to slowly walk into the blob's direction, and tell him to Roger back in various levels of anxiety, depending on what he finds.
Roger. And he makes his way forward. You see him go up to the level of your vision. No discernible Roger. He's not really sounding very stressed or anything as he goes. He's not giving any alarm or anything. He gets to a point, and I would like you to roll a dexterity save for me, please, for him. This is now past your vision. Yeah, this is now past your vision. He's gone about over 100 feet now. So 100 feet, that's...
he's actually moving out of our vision.
Yeah, so he's kind of just passed. He's just passed into the
Veil.
The veil of the mist, and he passes out your vision. But I'd like you to roll a dexterity save for him for me, please.
Okay. 10.
Yeah, as well as he goes. Yeah. So as he goes, again, this fire pops up around him, and he's going to take, this time, 1 point of damage as he reacts slightly faster, moving out of the blast of fire. You see the mist clear slightly, and you see Roger moving back out of the fire. You see the flames pop up and burn for about a minute before dying down again. And you hear him say, "Roger, Roger, Roger, Roger." In alarm, obviously, because you got burnt a bit. And he kind of just stops where he is and turns to you, waiting for instruction.
Okay, but could we see the flash like shining through the mist? The veil?
I'd say roll a perception check.
Would have been brighter.
He's at this point about 130 meters ahead of you.
Could we hear? I rolled a 10. Could we have heard it?
You still just hear the chirping, this high pitched helium chirp that's kind of going all around. As you kind of come to a stop now, you hear it kind of coming up here and there. It sounds, like I said, it sounds like frogs on helium, basically. Like, I can't fucking do it, but yeah, it's basically all over.
I just look to the other and say, I don't know what we should do.
I think that it's just like a weird gassy substance under the floor. We might just be able to stay away from the noise and just go through this as quickly as possible.
Any other ideas?
I tried running for it, trying to avoid the sounds.
Alright, so you just dash ahead, do you?
Yeah.
How far ahead are you dashing?
Until I don't hear sounds anymore.
Okay. So you hear this chirping noise. As you dash ahead, again, I would like you now to you run past Roger, which is about 130 feet in front of everyone else, so about 50 meters. Or let's say 50 meters, so 160 feet. And you make it another 30 meters, so another 100 feet in front of everyone. Hang on. 50, that's 80. So about 250 feet, so 80 meters in front of everyone. And I'd like you at this point to roll a dexterity saving throw for me as well.
17.
Nice. As you run, just up ahead, you manage to stop in time before your foot just manages to touch a pool of some sort of dark substance, where you see these big bubbles. You just see this like thing rise in front of you. This almost, it's black circular bubble, massive, as it rises up and pops right in front of you. It grows massive. I mean, it must go to like 5 meters in diameter, like, so a full call it a full square, so 5 foot, kind of bubbling up like that before it pops, flinging this debris towards you, and you get covered in this substance. It's difficult to kind of make out what it is in this colorlessness, but you are now covered in some weird sticky, stenchy, slick that's covering you at the moment, and there's this pool in front of you. It looks like it kind of stretches a little bit around the area. You also see the mist kind of is not so prevalent in this specific section, and it's a bit of a clearing, so there aren't really any trees or skeletal trees anymore in this area. You can see a few off in the distance now that the fog kind of clears up a little bit here. There's still a little bit of low fog coming in, but it's mostly kind of see-through, if that makes sense. Not as thick as in the main part of the forest. And in front you see a bubbling blackness. If you turn to roll 20, you'll get a sense of what it is. Hang on.
Does it seem sentient, or is it just bubbles?
It just looks like bubbles, and there's another one busy building up right where that one had kind of left off. Hang on, let me just grab your character as well.
I pick up a rock and throw it at the bubble before it can like grow big.
And it pops. This time not flinging as much as it was fast, since it wasn't as big. It just kind of plops.
I stream back. I'm back to my underground gas idea.
Also, just roll a perception check for me whilst I run to the toilet. Oh, I need a pee.
but we are being
9.
role playing.
Yeah,
Fine. I laugh at my own jokes.
Yeah, those are some good bubble noises. Nice. Alright, so soon you get to the edge of this pool of substance, black substance in front of you. What was your perception?
9.
9. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to make out what's going on around you. You do see the bubbles, and in between this tarry substance, you notice a lot of animal bones. Most of it purely just bone, nothing necessarily decayed. There is a stench of decay in the air, but most of these bones look pretty clear. As you reach this point, what are the rest of you doing? And Sassoon, what do you say at this point, I suppose?
I don't know. It's thick, and when it gets to large, it explodes.
Oh.
You guys just make out Sassoon. He's quite far off at this point. You're all about 200 meters, about 80 meters.
Seeing Sassoon just sprint past me, well, presumably past Roger, I start, not briskly walking, but not running. The portion where I stepped that was like squishy. Is there a discerning color between that and other portions of the ground?
I'd say, are you gonna bend down to investigate?
Yeah, I'll say. Let's say I came to, I walked to Roger, and seeing that it almost happened there, maybe there's a pattern. So there I bend down and try to investigate see if there's like maybe, not touching with my hand, but using the back of the axe to see if there's softer or harder pieces, color differences or whatever.
Alright, roll an investigation for me.
18.
Nice. Yeah, so as you bend down, you do notice that the ground here is very wet and muddy. Not necessarily with moisture. You notice some parts have a bit of a clearer liquid, whilst others have a much darker liquid. There's like pools and puddles of this stuff. Not very deep at this point, it's kind of just very surface level like. And when you put your axe into it and you lift it up, there's this slick layer. And having a closer look, perhaps even just bringing a bit of light to it. Well, I wouldn't say bring light to it because you don't have any light. But it gives a slight sheen, and you smell it, and it smells like oil.
That is the not the clear liquid, the other one rather.
This is where the mixture of blackness is, but when you lift it up, it is somewhat clear. There is a bit of blackness to it, with like the top layer almost being slick and clear looking, with a bit of a sheen to it.
Okay, can I identify like
a purplish blue dark?
Is the whole floor like that, or is it like?
There's puddles of it. It's patches, and the other parts of the floor it's ground. It's very muddy, like a mixture of dead plant matter and vegetation.
Okay.
Um,
So
but
everything is like
but soft.
muddy, swampish,
Yeah,
but there's
swampish,
just
and then
pockets
there's
of
pools. Yeah,
pools
uh,
of. Oh, okay.
yeah, of this darkish substance.
Yeah. Now realizing that we are essentially walking in a ticking oil bomb, I just yell back to the guys, just we should move quickly, avoid the darker patches, or the gleaming patches. Would you be able to see like a shine or sheen?
Well,
you're not
there isn't
bent
really any
down?
light. There isn't much light. You managed to catch just a slight hint of it, lifting it up and looking at it, but it's difficult to see in this murkiness, in this almost colorlessness of this region.
It's difficult to see, but I don't think we should light a torch or anything as well. So I think we should just, get a move on. Try to avoid, avoid it if you can. And me and Roger just moves forward.
Fireballs into the sky.
Say again?
Can you cast fireballs into the sky?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the atmosphere around us is
Flammable as well.
yeah, flammable as well. But theoretically, I can cast fireballs into the sky.
Okay, well, doing as Ada says, I just try and run to get as far away from black stuff as I can.
All right, so just
hang back and I think everybody go past me first, and then I'll follow.
Okay, well, I'll say you all kind of meet up behind Sassoon. You all kind of gather here. Sassoon, what direction would you like to head towards? As you make your run, which way are you heading? Oh, you don't have a map, do you?
I have the map open. I just now realize that we're very, very small. So yeah, I take the bottom path and I run, making the jump, and try and get as far as I can. Let me see if I can do this on the...
Yeah. Alright, so you get to this point here. I'd also like you, as you're running across this part, I'd like you to make a dexterity check for me, please, as you kind of jump onto this area here. It's a little, as you jump, Sassoon, as you make your way here, and you're trying to move quick, you feel that the ground beneath your feet is very slick. I'd like you to roll a dexterity saving for me, please.
Saving or acrobatics?
No, this is a saving throw. As you jump, you feel the slickness beneath your feet. This is to determine if you keep your feet or not. So it's not necessarily a skill check.
17.
Yeah, you manage to keep your feet as you land. And as you make your way across, I would like you to perhaps roll me another perception check as you make your way running over in this section over here.
22.
Nice. As you dash and you make your way across, and you reach this point over here, you just manage to make out a very small looking creature at your feet that you just avoid with your speed. You jump over it, and I'd say you perhaps come to a stop to kind of turn. It doesn't look threatening or anything, but as you look at it, it's something you've never seen before. If you turn to the hang on. If you turn to the imagery, you'll see this is what it looks like. It's this small kind of toad-looking thing, very plump. It's not very big, and it's almost hard to see with all the slick and whatever substance is lying around sitting there. this creature just kind of sits, and you manage to make out its eyes as it kind of just watches you go by, and you step across and make your way across this little bridge. As you go, you notice so you notice it here. Let me just quickly.
There's rainbow frogs.
You notice one there. You notice
Rainbow
one here.
frogs.
So you notice these creatures kind of sitting around all over the place. You've got to move your full 40 feet, right? And then are you going to use your bonus action to dash?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright, so 40, and then you do it.
If I remember correctly.
Hey?
The 40 is about there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So you got another 40. Which direction are you heading in? This way?
Yeah, continuing 15, and then trying, well, not exactly.
Yeah, as you, with that same perception, as you're moving over here, you do notice a bubble kind of brewing over here. It looks like it's getting pretty large. Are you going to continue past it?
Where?
Over here.
Your signal is not showing up on the phone.
Okay. I'll quickly draw it here. Like over here. Oh wait, I don't think you can see that. Hang on. Mother trucker. Sorry, I'm just getting these tools. There.
Okay.
Look, the thing. Hey.
I'll risk it.
Alright, so it didn't do it didn't do any damage to you. But you managed to make it across this pit of whatever the substance is that's kind of around you, and you make it to about here with your 40 feet. Another 40 feet, yeah. All right. Next, who's following?
I don't have that much movement.
Remember, yeah.
Yeah. No.
If you're gonna move the speed that Sassoon moved, you'll have to do a dexterity saving throw because he did move pretty quick. If you do half movement, you won't have to do a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I sent Roger first to do half his movement.
All right. So he's got 40 feet, right?
So he's got 20 feet.
Yeah.
Just by this first. Is that? Can I identify? Is that the sounds?
No. Looking at now, Sassoon pointing out these particular creatures, you identify that high croaking helium sound is made by these frogs or toads.
Oh, high croaking helium sound. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then I send Roger his full 20 feet just next to this. But I specifically want to see if while he's standing, I know that's not exactly how it works, if he's sinking.
Alright.
Or getting stuck or something.
Okay, so he jumps across. Oh shit. Sorry. I'm gonna say if he if he jumps, if all of you are gonna have to jump, you're gonna have to make a dexterity save as you land because this is slick surface over here. So make a dexterity saving throw for Roger for me, please.
For Roger. Tell me, is that a separate dexterity than the running?
Yeah. Well, not actually no. It'll be a combined one, I'd say. Perhaps let's just combine it. So you can move
that's
full speed. Yeah.
19 plus 3 is 22.
Yeah, he easily lands quite solid on his feet, and he can do full movement if you'd like.
Okay, let's just see. The jump is different, isn't it?
No, it takes the same, I think. You're traveling. Let me just
You
quickly
remember,
see.
a jump is like half speed because you need to
No,
run
you
up.
don't. You don't get half speed. It's only if you're jumping further than what your most characters should be able to jump 15 or 10 feet or something like that. So this jump you could all make.
Yeah.
It's when it comes to only when it's a bit
Okay.
further you need a run up. But no, you don't lose movement speed or anything.
Okay, then he moves his full. So I think he's got 30 left. And then I follow. Or I just check first if he's sinking while he's standing.
That's what I say. 1 foot per strength with 10 feet run up. Half from standing. Oh, so you can jump as far as your strength modifier, I think. Not your strength modifier, your strength. Hang on, let me just read it.
Oh,
quick.
okay. He's got quite good strength.
No, you guys will make it across. That's fine. Alright.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, so he makes it to this point over here. Alright, perfect. Your go, Adol.
Is he sinking? Can I see if he's
He stands still
something
there.
else?
No, it doesn't seem. It doesn't. It appears that the ground that he's standing on is solid. Although you can see that there is a difference in the texture here. It is still looks like it's covered in some sort of a substance, like that, more like that oily feel that you had when you had dipped your axe in, and not so much the black stuff. So there's a slick substance covering the surface, and then these pools of bubbling things.
Okay, so you can stand there safely, but it's ideally not somewhere where you like keep on standing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then let's do the big boy. Adar.
All right. So as you jump,
Dexterity
dexterity
jump.
save.
My it's going weird. Sorry, let me just. Okay, dexterity saving throw. My favorite, natural 7
For a total
of 7.
Yeah. So as you jump, Adar, you try and be careful, but it is really slick underfoot, and you slip and you fall, not fall, but you slide basically into this black substance in front of you as you jump over, the momentum kind of carrying you forward.
There.
Yeah, your feet kind of dig in, and you feel like you're slowly kind of falling in. You try and pull your foot out, and it is really sticky, this stuff. I'm gonna have you as an action roll a strength. I'll say, yeah, just a normal. It's not necessarily a saving throw. It's going to be an athletics check. Yeah.
Athletics check. Okay.
Yeah. As you try and pull yourself free.
Fuck's sakes. 6.
Yeah, you're trying as Adar, but both your feet are really stuck in there, and you're slowly but surely sinking down. It's up to you just by your calf level, just under your knees.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. That's going to end your go. I'll say Daenerys, you're up next. So you see Adar kind of rush up ahead. You see Sassoon make it across. Roger going halfway, and Adar going across. He slips and slides into this black substance, and he starts to sink. What are you doing, Daenerys?
Help this nonsense.
Sorry, say that again?
Can I try and help Adar out of this nonsense that is
All right,
going into?
Yeah, that's fine. So you jump across. I also need you to roll a dexterity saving throw as you jump across this edge here.
10.
Yeah, you also go sliding, Daenerys, as you jump across, not quite keeping your footing, and you go sliding and just fall in right next to Adar. Both your feet landing in this mucky substance. You also start to sink. I will give you an action to either try perhaps help Adar, or you can try pull yourself out with an athletics check.
Uh, 19.
Yeah, you manage to pull your legs out and just make it to the edge.
And now I just leave him almost drowning in it.
Well, he's not quite drowning just yet. It's sitting by his just under his knees.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
yet.
Well, you don't know how deep it is, so. You do have movement left if you'd like, but no action.
Fine, I'll stay there because next round I'll try and
All right.
take on the little froggy in front of me.
Okay.
Or try to save me again. I don't know. Cough, cough.
Yes,
Maybe.
all that.
All
Maybe
right,
I'll think about it.
Beatrick, you're Emma up. You can decide. You guys can decide between you.
Okay, sorry, we just off Discord. It seems we've got some technical issues.
Ah.
But as an action, I would like to cast a spell,
Mm-hmm.
and my spell on. I lost my space now. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, we just have a situation with our adopted cat.
Gotcha.
Can I cast spiritual weapon as my bonus action?
Yeah, where are you casting it?
Okay, so I would like to cast the Staff of the Moonglow for my deity, Seonin Moonglow, to go undetected.
Sorry, say that again. You want to cast spiritual weapon?
Yes. Yeah, my spiritual weapon would be the Staff of the Moonglow, or a Staff of the Moonglow, or also
Alright.
yeah, and the power it will give me is to go undetected.
You can cast when you cast spiritual weapon, it represents that object, but it doesn't have the same magical properties. You see, so it
Can I
will.
cast a?
Yeah.
Can I cast a bridge?
Do you have a bridge spell? Oh, you mean spiritual bridge?
Yeah. Which also won't help me.
No.
Can I try acrobatics? Okay, but I haven't. I'm not good. Let me just- Is acrobatics part of my proficiencies? I'm not sure now.
You can, but this isn't a skill check. So when you're jumping over, you're just rolling a save to see whether or not you can keep your balance as you land. So it's going to be a dexterity saving throw as you jump across, if that's what you choose to do.
And if I do a survival check?
No. I mean, you can perhaps do a perception check to see if there's perhaps a better way around, than doing that, or yeah.
Okay. Then
You
I'd
can
like
describe.
the
You can
perception.
look. You can describe. You can if you have an idea of how you can get through this, then you can say what you'd like to try, and then I'll say, okay, roll a specific skill to see if you can get it done. Otherwise, you can follow what everyone's kind of doing, but you can be creative with it. You don't. I mean, if you want to, I don't know, decide to take a day and weave a bridge across, then you can try and do that. Then I'll tell you, perhaps roll a sleight of hand to see how well you build this weaved bridge or whatever. Although that's a very far-fetched idea, that would never work. But yeah, okay. So you're gonna have a better look. Okay, so I'll say you walk to the edge. You have a better look around. Roll a perception check for me. You now are looking for a better way through this with this perception roll.
Okay.
And this is going to be your action on your turn.
And it's taking forever to show. Oh, that's nice.
What did you roll? 22.
22, yeah, 17 plus 5.
All right, awesome. All right, so you have a look around for a better way across, and you notice that it looks like there's probably a path here where you wouldn't have to jump. So if you made your way just underneath this dead tree over here, and to this section over here, you wouldn't have to jump and make a save, and you would probably be able to easily traverse. You're able to kind of see a clear path heading this way, then going down here around this pool, and you'll be able to get to where Sassoon is over here. And this is still part of your direction, so you need to. This is north technically. You kind of need to make your way around in this direction, if that makes sense. So the direction Sassoon is heading is the right direction. So you basically need to get in this area over here. And then head off in that direction. So any way you can get there is good. So I mean, you can kind of make out that it will probably be easier if you head in this direction. So what do? That's your action. You got movement.
I would like to move into the alternative route, the safer route that I've identified.
All right. You've got 30 feet. So you can move yourself 30 feet. Let me quickly help measure. So you can go there, and then you can use a bow. No, you can't. That's an action to dash. So you can make it to about here. This is where you make it to on your turn.
About then.
Yeah. Perfect. Alright, and that'll end your turn. Alright, now we go to Beatrix. What are you doing? You notice Emma going this way. You see Adar busy slowly sinking there. Daenerys also had fallen in but managed to get herself out quickly. And Sassoon on the other side, and Roger there in the middle. What are you doing?
Sorry, it's just outside.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know where the kitty went to. Just give us 5 minutes, please.
Alright, well, let's end it there, I think. And then you guys can think about how you'd like to traverse this area. And then next time we get back together, then we'll continue this. Okay, Yella. Good luck with the cat. Hope you find her or him.
Shame, no, I'm going to ring his neck when I find him.
Shame, man. Yeah, well, that's what the cats do. That unfortunately, I know. I'm sure Anil and Jeffrey can also tell you.
Yeah, almost said that. Alex says he's now on a roof somewhere, so yeah,
okay.
Let me also go because he's getting a bit annoyed now.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right, but just send greetings and stuff to Alex, and you guys must have a good evening. And yeah, we'll chat again soon.
Thank you. I'm so sorry about this.
No, all good. Not a problem.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Anything else before we end it? Are we all happy?
I think we're happy. I'm slowly sinking.
Yeah.
But you know,
what can you do, hey?
it's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine.
We'll
The
find
only
out.
thing that's worse now is if everything's on fire.
Yeah. And I don't want to point fingers, but somebody did suggest I should throw firebolts. But yeah. Okay.
All right, sweet guys. Good. Have a lucky week, and we'll catch up again soon. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything, Toto.
Thank you.
All good. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.